Alright guys, today we're going to start polishing a new set of rocks. We just took these out of the polisher a couple of days ago to let them dry. Those are all from South Dakota. We went to on a trip and we had some petrified wood we polished. Another piece, petrified wood, smoky quartz. It's got some pink in it. I don't know if they call it pink quartz or what, but just kind of when we're out and about, we pick up neat rocks and like to polish them. So most of these started much bigger than they are now. That's fairly representative of what it would look like before we started. Some of these are a little bigger. That's from South Dakota too. We wouldn't have had 4 of those in there by any stretch, but we might have had 1, possibly 2, and that's even pretty big. That's pretty common to what we start with. This size here. And those are all from South Dakota. This is a mix from South Dakota and our last hike we went on. Just, you can see how they kind of start out. We'll get a good look at some of them. You can see the crystal in there. This one's kind of neat. It has some green in it. So we'll see what they look like when we're done. But that's pretty representative of what we put in. Alright, so everything I've got here is what we need to get started with the first course, I guess we'll call it, of rock tumbling. It goes in 4 courses. And we're going to start with the 6090 grit, and then it goes all the way up to an aluminum oxide polish. Each step, the grit gets finer and finer. So it'll go from this to I think a 240, and then a 500, and then an aluminum oxide polish. And each one you spend at least a week in the polisher. If it's a few more days, it isn't going to hurt anything. You'll just end up with slightly smaller rocks. They just grind away more. But a week at least at each stage. So it's basically 28 days or a month for one round of rocks. This is one round of rocks. And we'll get these out of the way. Alright, so I actually have a project in mind, a woodworking project in mind to incorporate some of these rocks in eventually. So when we're out with the kids and myself, we pick up neat rocks and see what they're going to turn out like. Sometimes they don't turn out very well, sometimes they turn out really pretty. So you need a variety of sizes. I think we'll start with let's do one of these, maybe the pink one, some of these in there. I like this one. You can see the striations in it. It'll be really neat to see what that turns out like. And you can have a few of those bigger ones, but you need a lot of the small ones. So we're just going to incorporate all of that in there. And I think we can have a couple more of these big ones in. Not too big this time around. That's another neat one. The layers in it. Some of these tiny ones, they're gonna grind away to nothing. There won't be anything left. Even after this first course, if we're lucky, that'll be just the tiniest. But they help mix up and they're part of the polishing process. So we throw them in, and if there happen to be some left, then there happen to be some left. That one. I think we're going to be about 2/3 full here. So if you can see in there, it's roughly 2/3, and we have a variety of different sizes. Just to help out a little bit, I bought plastic beads, a big bag of them. After I use them, I save them, and I just reuse them in the same grit. So these are 90 grit that have already been used for other 90 grit polishing. They started out white, but it doesn't much matter. So that'll take the place of some of the smaller fines that you want in there. And it helps tumble them up and get them where you want them to be. Then we're going to take this 90 grit. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll bring you over to show you. That's it. And we'll do 4 tablespoons of that. Another thing to make sure I tell you, when you empty these and rinse your rocks after each course, I'll start over with that. Each time you go to a new course and empty this to put in the next grit and new polishing beads, you want to do it outside. Don't do it in your kitchen sink. This stuff sets up like cement, like concrete, with the slurry from the rocks and everything else. It sets up really hard. It'll plug your sink bad. So don't do it inside. Do it outside. Definitely, I wouldn't want it in the septic system. So those rocks will save till next time, and then we're going to add water to it. That might actually be just a little too much. You can see where that's coming to. Rocks are sticking out. It might be just a little too much, but we're going to go with it for now. Okay, I dumped a little bit outside. I think that's just those big rocks are on top, but I think that's kind of where we want it. So then we just seal it up. If I was gonna get another, I got that from Harbor Freight. If I was gonna get another one, I would get the double. This is a 3-pound tumbler, and it, like you saw how many it finishes, and it's not a ton. So to get what we have there is taking quite a few goes at it. So I would have got the double 3 pounds, so it's 2 3-pound cylinders. Put it in. We'll let it run. I'll actually take this out and put it in the garage in the meantime, but that's it. Thanks for watching.